All right, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are enjoying your day. So, today, I want to talk about Carson Wentz. He was traded from the Philadelphia Eagles to the Indianapolis Colts yesterday. And boy, let's just say the reception has been interesting. Let's just say Carson Wentz is not viewed highly by anybody right now. And honestly, you could see why. He's coming off of the worst season of his career, in which he arguably looked like the worst quarterback in the NFL. I mean, it was bad. It was bad. To be fair to him, he was not working with the best of situations. His offensive line was terrible. His weapons were either bad or injured. His coaching staff honestly gave up on him. It just looked like they gave up on him early in the season. And things just weren't looking great. Not to mention his self-confidence has been at an all-time low. And it's been just slowly decreasing ever since the Super Bowl. But despite all of this, he himself didn't look great. So yeah, there were things that made him look bad that he couldn't control. But the parts he could control, he just looked awful. In terms of his mechanics, it was terrible. And it led to a lot of bad interceptions. In terms of his decision-making, it was poor. He was holding on to the ball too long or just being reckless with the football. That caused a lot of fumbles. I mean, from decision-making to accuracy to mechanics, everything about Carson Wentz was just god-awful. Completely god-awful last year. He wasn't dealing with the best of situations, but he himself did not play well at all. So, yeah, it makes sense why he's not viewed highly right now. So people look at the Colts trading for a guy like him. Not to mention, by the way, can't forget about this, he's been injury-prone the last several seasons. So the Colts trade for a guy in Carson Wentz, who was arguably the worst quarterback last year, whose confidence is at an all-time low and is injury-prone. People are clearly looking at the Colts thinking, what are you doing? Well, let's try to break it down. Because I believe that if Carson Wentz can get his confidence back up and put in the work, he will have an opportunity to revive his career with the Colts. Why? First of all, let's talk about this. The one thing that's going to help him get his confidence back will be Frank Reich. Frank Reich was his offensive coordinator in 2017, which was Carson Wentz's best year in the NFL. He was an MVP candidate. Obviously, who knows if he would have went on to win it, but he was an MVP candidate playing the best football of his entire career. And obviously, Frank Reich was the offensive coordinator that helped lead them to the Super Bowl. Matter of fact, based on what we've seen from Doug Peterson, who has done a fantastic job ruining his credibility over the last 3 seasons, you can make a solid argument that Frank Reich had more to do with them winning the Super Bowl than Doug Peterson. Matter of fact, you might want to give most, if not all, the credit to him in terms of coaching, because Nick Foles definitely deserves his credit. He played well, team played well, defense played well in clutch time. But like, in terms of just coaching in the Super Bowl, or just the run in general, you might want to give more credit to Frank Reich than you give to Doug Peterson, because that man has ruined his credibility. So you can make that argument. Carson Wentz, a guy that had his best season under this guy being his offensive coordinator, he's not going to his team where he's the head coach. That is going to do wonders. This is a guy that knows what Carson Wentz needs to succeed and has faith in him, because when he was there, the man was succeeding. So he has faith in him, he has trust in him, he has belief in him. And if there's any coach out there that can get this man's confidence up, it would be him. So going to a head coach that has some belief and confidence, not even some, but just a lot of belief and a lot of confidence in you will definitely help your confidence grow. Not to mention, just having a fresh start away from Philadelphia could do a lot for Carson Wentz. I mean, let's be honest here. We all saw it coming. I don't know if Eagle fans didn't see it, but we all saw this coming. The minute they won that Super Bowl with Nick Foles, we all knew it was never going to be the same. Because those players that were playing alongside Nick Foles, man, they grew some sort of admiration for, like, they just grew an attachment. They grew an attachment to him, sorry. Like, some of them were low-key worshiping this guy for what he was doing. They had shrines in the locker room. There were just some players that were favoring Nick Foles because of what he did in that Super Bowl run. And he was more of a leader in that locker room. Meanwhile, Carson Wentz, who really wasn't his fault, coming off an injury, trying to take over this team, he was struggling to try and be that leader. But again, the players were going towards Nick Foles. And that's kind of what brought on an issue. So you have a young quarterback here that's trying to galvanize this team, but they don't really have much faith and confidence in him because their confidence and faith is going more towards another guy. And it didn't help that Carson Wentz would go on to once again get injured and Nick Foles has to take over and he takes the team to the playoffs and they were one Alshon Jeffrey drop away from potentially upsetting the Saints and going back to the NFC Championship game. So that speaks volumes. You already have players that are now favoring Nick Foles, and you're trying to come back and galvanize this team and be the leader for this franchise, but the players aren't really looking at you like a leader. So that was the uphill battle he was dealing with. Not to mention him consistently getting injured, his play slowly falling, and the team not surrounding him with what he needed. Of course his confidence is going to go down. It seemed like the franchise's confidence in him was going down. We knew this was going to happen. There was a split once they won that Super Bowl, and it was never going to be the same. So a fresh start for Carson Wentz can definitely do wonders for him. And going to Indianapolis with Frank Reich is definitely going to help. What else does it help with? Well, now that you're going with a coach that believes in you, what about the weapons? Man, this guy is actually going into one of the best possible situations you can go into. He's going to a Colts team that doesn't have a lot of weapons, but they do have weapons. They have weapons. They have a running game, and they have an offensive line. They basically built this offense for a certain quarterback that retired a couple years ago who we miss. Guys, he's not coming back, okay? Let the man, he's enjoying his retirement. He's not coming back. As much as I miss that man, he's not coming back. I miss you, Andrew Luck, and I miss you, Andrew Luck. But yeah, they built that team for him, and he was finally ready. This is a contending team. They just need a quarterback. And they're hoping Carson Wentz can be that guy. So Carson Wentz is going into a great opportunity where he has a great offensive line, so he's going to get protection. He's got solid weapons, and he's got a running game. Not to mention, he has a stellar defense that can make stops when they need to. So he's in a great situation. This team is built to be a potential contending team. All Carson Wentz has to do at this point is get his play back to where it was in 2017. Maybe it's never going to get back to that level. Maybe the injuries have taken it away. But at least let him get back to looking like a good quarterback. Let him get back to that area. And he's going to have the opportunity. He has the weapons. He has an offensive line, so he's going to get protection. He has a running game. He has a defense. And he has a head coach that believes in him. Carson Wentz needs to get his confidence back up. And if he can do that, he could potentially be this team's future. Then, of course, you also got to look at the injury history for him, and you got to wonder, yeah, well, it's possible, it's probably possible he can get his play up, and with his confidence getting up, he'll probably play better, especially with better weapons and, protection and a good defense. But can he stay healthy? That will be the question. And honestly, that's what it's going to come down to. Before I look at the whole confidence and everything, I think it's really going to come down to Carson Wentz staying healthy. Because if he can't stay healthy, then all of this was for naught. If he cannot stay healthy, what's the point in having him? Because again, the uphill battle that you're going to have to face, getting injured, recovering, going through the treatment, going through that whole procedure just to get back and get injured again. It's what caused Andrew Luck to retire. Now, I don't believe the Colts will do that. They have the protection for him, but Carson Wentz has just been getting nicked up left and right, and it's causing a problem. So, will he be able to stay healthy in Indianapolis? I don't know. I honestly don't know. What I do know is they've surrounded him with the weapons he's going to need to succeed. They've given him the tools. They have given this man the tools. A head coach that has worked with you during your best season of your career. He knows what it takes for you to succeed. He knows what to surround you with. He knows the game plan that's going to help you best. So he knows your strengths and weaknesses. He can help with that. Not to mention, he has faith and confidence in you. So you have that. You've got a run game. You've got some weapons to utilize. You've got protection because you have a fantastic offensive line. And you've got a defense. So you have all these tools to yourself. Now all you need to do is go out there, put in the work, get back into that form you were in before you got to this low bar you are right now, and just play good football. Go back, fix your mechanics, You got to improve your decision-making. You've got to get better against Carson Wentz. And most importantly, do everything in your power to stay healthy. Because if you can stay healthy, you can be the face of the Colts. Not only that, but if you can get back to looking like anything, if you can look remotely close to the way you were playing in 2017, the Colts are going to be a Super Bowl contending team. Because they're built to contend. They've got the pieces to contend. They just need a quarterback. Why do you think so many people keep saying if Andrew Luck comes back, this is going to be a legit Super Bowl contender? He's not coming back, though. But listen, Carson, this is a fresh start. This is a brand new opportunity. And you're going into a better situation than you were in last year with the Eagles. Everything is here for you. They're providing you with everything. You just got to get back to that form, that semi-MVP form. Get back to playing at that level. And trust me, this team, this can be yours, man. You can be the face of this team. But most importantly, you got to stay healthy. Before anything else, you have to stay healthy. If you can't stay healthy, this is going to be a waste of time. So, yeah, these are some of the reasons why I believe Carson Wentz can potentially revive his future with the Colts or just his career in general. I believe he can get back to looking like a good quarterback. And he can certainly revive his career because he's surrounded by the tools that should help him succeed. If he fails with the Colts, his career is done. I'm sorry. You fail with this all around you, a coach that believes in you and knows what it takes to help you personally succeed. A great offensive line, weapons, a run game, and a defense, and you fail with that, there's no coming back. Carson Wentz, this could arguably be your last chance to get back to what you're looking. You're like, just get back to that 2017 form. Get anywhere close to that. This is just your last chance to just look like a good quarterback or a legit starter or a potential franchise quarterback, anything like that. This is your last chance, and you're in the best possible situation to do that. Don't mess it up. So, yeah, with that being said, that's really all I got. I would have loved to have talked about this yesterday, but everything in this house kind of shut down, and I didn't have any internet or network, so, like, I couldn't post anything, so I couldn't even talk about the trade in the first place. But it don't even matter. We still got this done. I still had some words to say. What I said today, I probably was going to say yesterday, except I would have gotten a little bit more into the trade as to who won. But at this point, nah, honestly, we'll just see how it goes for both sides. But with that being said, that's all I got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace!